Good evening. This is David Lynn, and this is Coffee Talk number 250. Welcome, and please leave a like to support the channel. Be greatly appreciated. Joseph Moore, welcome, Joseph. Hope you're having a wonderful day. KP Heathen, my friend from Louisiana. James Ortiz, welcome, my friend James. Yeah, it's hot everywhere. It really is. It's a very hot summer. I have been monitoring the weather. There is a storm out in the Gulf of Mexico. It should come in tomorrow evening, and we're going to get a lot of rain, which is beneficial. We'll get a lot of rain from it for the next few days. Uncle Al, Bullfrog 79, welcome. Thank you for the likes. Well, guys, if you have not left me a like and a nice comment on my last 5 videos, you really need to. I'm sitting at 1,598, too short of 1,600, and when I get to 1,600, I'm going to make the list who all left me a supportive comment in the last 5 videos that I've released. Their names are going to go in a hat. Whoever gets drawn from the hat is going to get a nice goodie box from me. Oh, that's James. That's a long time coming. I was at over 1,500 in January. I have not grown this since January. Since I went on summer vacation, going on 3 weeks ago. Now been about 3 weeks. Now I'm growing. I'm growing again. Before I went on summer vacation, you weren't getting any growth. I'd pick up a couple, I'd drop a couple. Pick up a couple, I'd drop a couple. Very slow growth. But like I said, you may have won a box in the past. Won't prevent you from winning a box this time. It's whoever I draw. You're at 1375. Well, Yes, please hit the like button to support the channel. Be greatly appreciated. Leave a nice come back after the end of the live stream and leave me a nice comment. Everything in the stream, those comments disappear. They go poof. Watch time and the likes stay, but the comments go poof. Well, you know, I've been watching and I've been commenting on your food videos, your little shorts. Here lately, you and Uncle Al have inspired me to do food shorts. So I've basically been posting shorts on what I've been eating, what the wife brings me, or what I've been eating. Little known prepper. And James, yours looks a little bit more healthy than mine a lot of times. I think currently I have a short out that is from the breakfast, and it is the huevos rancheros. Yeah, I guess it makes me more visible. Those I don't know how your food videos have been averaging. I don't know how Uncle Al's food videos have been averaging. I haven't been paying attention. And I think you guys are probably posting more than I am. I post one or two a day. And mine are averaging, if it's a food video, they're averaging 450. I mean, the last couple of weeks that I've been posting food videos, I haven't had one go over, I haven't had one reach 500. I haven't had one reach 500. Holly Ivans. Hello, Holly Ivans. I think, you know, I, I get, I basically get pushed out to a certain group, and then it doesn't go to that next tier. Because I've had, not recently, but I've had shorts go to 1,000. I've had a couple of them that go right at 1,000, and they stop. And then I had one get up to 1,800. The best short I've done, I had one short get 1,800 views. Only one that got near that much. I've had a couple of more that got right at 1,000. And then I get quite a few that get in the 400, 450. You've had 7K views in the last 5 days. Wow. Right now, the last cycle, which I guess would be 28 days, I'm at 15.9. Excuse me, 15.9K. So, that's impressive. My live streams have been averaging, oh, I'd be lying, 130, 140, 150 views on my live streams. the snapshots. Like last night's snapshot, 134 views. The previous night's snapshot, 121 views. The night before that, 133 views. Oh, here's one, 102 views. They're all, I've been averaging over 100, but it varies. It varies. Yeah, I'm sure it's hot. Summertime. And remember, we're not in the heat of the summer yet. This is just early summer. We're early into hurricane season. We got our first named storm. I think they named it Arturo. They usually start with an A and then they progress through the alphabet as it goes. So I think they called it Arturo, and it's like a tropical storm. Last time I was looking at the weather alert, it says it's moving northwest at 6 miles an hour. It's moving at 6 miles an hour, and it will bring a lot of rain with it, which we can use rain. Lady Sky, hello, Lady Sky. Welcome. So, good Lord. I am so tired of this thing blocking my screen. 8 in the house, 6 likes. So tonight's topic, we're going to talk about identification. Identification documents and what you do, personal information. Let's say you have to leave, something happens and you gotta leave. What do you take with you? What do you have in your document bag, or your documents? What do you have with you? So the first question is, you have, normally they ask, if it's an official thing, they ask for 2 forms of ID. Picture ID. So what would be 2 forms of picture ID? Well, the most common ID is your ID. If you drive, you have a driver's license. It has a picture. It has your information. It's issued by your state. And that is a form of identification. If you do not drive, you can get a picture ID, which has all of your information, but basically it's an ID. Like parents will have them for their kids who are teenagers but don't drive yet. You got a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid, and they don't drive, or they don't have a learner's permit or a driver's license. There are people who have health issues that they're not allowed to drive, so they have a picture ID. They go and they have a professional, made through the Department of Public Safety or wherever you would normally go for their driver's license, and they get an official ID. Another form of identification that works, that has a picture, would be going and getting a passport. You go to your post office and you apply, and you make an appointment to have a picture taken, and you get a passport. So that would be two forms of photo ID: your driver's license and a passport. Another another thing that you need that the government requires, uh, your original Social Security card, your Social Security. You get one of these little cardboard, little flimsy Social Security cards, and you need that. You need that. Um, your birth certificate. You need your birth certificate, and your marriage license. If you're divorced, you got divorce papers, like custody, child custody, and such. You need a you need a copy of that with you. Um, you graduated from high school. A copy of your diploma, your transcript from college, copy of your diploma. Your banking information, statements and such, your insurance and legal documents, um, you wear eyeglasses, copy of your prescription for your eyeglasses. Something happens, you need to get replacements. You either have to go have a new eye exam, or you have to have your current prescription that you can take in to have glasses made. With my eyesight the way it is, they have to send off. They can't do it locally. They have to order bulletproof glass for me. That's how blind I am. A letter from your doctor. You take medication. Letter from your doctor of your prescription drugs, listing your prescription drugs. Spencer Duffy. Hello, Spencer. And a supply, you take a supply of this medication with you if you take medication. That'd be in your bag. Emergency contacts. Emergency contact information. I would also include a copy of my will. You own your car, I'd have a copy of my ownership, my deed, title. Call it title to your car. Your home, you own property, you have a mortgage, you have a title to your house. I'd have a copy of that. So you got a pretty good sized list of stuff that you would want to have. and I'll go through it again. Um, but any of your paperwork, you're going to want that. You're going to want copies of any of your paperwork. All right, Spencer, you're now a moderator. Welcome to my channel. Yeah, they want picture IDs. There's a thing right now, a lot of the states that have been having issues with voter fraud, they're wanting to put in place requirements for photo IDs. You need to show a photo ID. And then you got the complaints. Oh, you can't require somebody to show a photo ID. It's putting a burden on them. They should just be able to go in and say who they are and go vote. There was a court that overturned an election in Houston, Texas recently for an elected position of judge. Apparently, there was a lot of voter fraud. And this was like for the 2022 election. There was some voter fraud, and there was some proof, you know. And the judge just said, vacate the election and go have another election. So the people who ran are now, they're having to, you know, there'll be another election. My friend Dave, Yoda. Thank you for coming in, Yoda. Yeah. I was listening to somebody who works the polls in Michigan, and they were talking about 105% of the voter registration was 105% of the adult population. In the state, and they're trying to get them to clean up the voter rolls. They don't want the dead to vote, and I certainly don't want the dead to vote, because I don't think they're going to vote the way that I would vote. Welcome back, Holly. So, Isobar. Hello, Isobar. Eight in the house. 8 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you for coming in, Isobar. You know, I have a backup channel, and I back up in private setting all of my videos. I back that stuff up on my backup channel, and if something happened to my primary channel, I could go and I could start re-releasing videos and such. And I mean, you never know what will happen. You really don't know what will happen. There are channels that are monetized that become demonetized because they put out material that's not approved, or that they fact check, or that the fact checkers claim it's false information. It's not, but that's their story. It was like the laptop thing. You had 51 people in high positions who all did this, signed off on this statement that the laptop was disinformation. And they knew it was not, but they lied, and that influenced some people in the way they voted in the last election. And that was sort of like voter interference, because look who won, you know. And I've seen polls right now that I've seen polls that say that, you know, things are pretty even when it comes to the election the upcoming election. And then I asked myself, the way things are, how could anybody want to vote for the current administration? And I know it just kills them to think, well, I can't vote the other way. You can't vote the other way. And it's like, you know how bad things are? You want it to get worse? You want it to stay the same? Keep voting the way you vote. And I don't want to, I don't want to speak ill of a political party. I know that there are a lot of people, I've got friends on right now that have voted for that party all their life. But look at the last 10, 15 years, what's happened to that party. You know, look at how that party has changed. You know, you think of yourself as a middle of the road person, and then it gets hijacked by the nuts. And there are a lot of people coming out right now that are, traditional from that party, and they're raising hell about all the crap that they're putting out and that they're pulling. I mean, it's true. It's true. So that's my venture into politics tonight. But and the reason why I got started on that is the idea of, identification. Everybody has to have identification to prove who you are. you want to get a license to drive your car, or you want to, even if you want to get a fishing license or a hunting license, you have to have valid identification. And from my past experience, when I used to be the department manager over, at my local Wally World, I would do the hunting and fishing licenses, and we did not accept any of these matricular consulary cards or any of these, the cards from south of the border. You can't get a license to hunt and fish with that. They don't. Now, you can be out of state and you can get a hunting and fishing license, but they normally charge you out of state fees, and they really jack up the price for what somebody pays for a hunting or fishing license if you're not resident of the state of Texas. And I'm sorry, but I mean, that's just, and I know that there are other states that do that. They want you to have a license to hunt or fish, or, bird hunting, deer season, or whatever. And you've got to have valid identification. And that identification has to have a picture. It's got to be a picture ID. So, hello, Matt. Welcome to my channel. Matt Menshadi. What the heck? A troll. Thank you, KP. I removed him. Appreciate it. What's my opinion of black people? Well, they used to be 13.5% of the population here in the United States, and they originally come from the continent of Africa, which is where all people originally originated from, according to, all the archaeological, anthropological. We all came out of Africa. Thank you. I occasionally get trolls. I've been told that I'm successful if I get hit by trolls. So let me go through that list again of personal information, which is tonight's topic. So what do you need in your documents bag or case, or where you keep your documents, that if you need to leave, you take them with you? I've got mine in a binder. I got my stuff in a binder that I can pull. To begin with, you need 2 forms of photo ID. 2 forms of photo ID. You need a driver's license and a passport, or you need a identification card, picture identification. Like in Texas, you go to the Department of Public Safety to get your license to drive, whether it's a personal vehicle or commercially. You know, you go to get your license. So you have a driver's license and a passport. And when I went to renew, they wanted a copy of my birth certificate. So I had to go back to the house and I had to get my birth certificate so they could scan it. And originally it would be my prior driver's license and my social security card. You know. But they wanted my birth certificate. So you need to have an original social security card. Not a photocopy of it, but the original card. Your marriage license showing you were married. If you were divorced, your divorce papers. Maybe there's child custody involved. You got minor children. You have a copy of the court orders. A hard copy of your birth certificate. I would have my will, a title if I got vehicle titles, your title to your home or your mortgage, copy of your mortgage, copy of your insurance, copy of your high school diploma, copy of your college degree or diploma, your transcript, your bank information, bank statement, or at least your recent one. Your if you wear glasses, your eyeglass prescription. If you break your glasses or you lose your glasses or something happens, you need to get them replaced. If you don't have a current copy of your prescription for your glasses, you'll have to go and have a new eye exam. A letter from your doctor of your prescription drugs, what medications you take. Idaho Garden Girl, welcome. Your contact numbers in case of an emergency. Your contact numbers. And Uncle Al suggested 7 phone numbers. My emergency contact numbers are my wife and would be my kid that's with me. If something were to happen to me, it would be contact my wife, contact my daughter. So it's a list of stuff. Seven in the house, 10 likes. So I will repeat my advice about my channel. I know most of the people who are in right now, not, I wouldn't say all, but most of them have received something from me in the past, whether they've been one of my winners, when I reach the next 100. And I'm just too shy of 1600 right now. And when I get to 1600, which should be any time, I'm going to go through the last 5 videos that I've released and write down the names of who left me comments. Hopefully they left me a like as well. They left me a supportive comment. And the ones that did so on all 5, their name will go in my hat, and I will do a random drawing when I reach in and pull out a name, and whoever I pull out will get to be the winner. Now, if you've been a winner before, you can win again. If you're somebody that I sent a goodie box to before, you can certainly be the 1600 subscriber giveaway winner. Now, when I did my 1400, when I did my 1500, there were 9 names. There were people who had left comments on 4 videos, or they left comments on 3 videos. I felt bad for them because they'd been in before, but they didn't do it on all 5. So if you have not, and the other thing is that when I hit that number, I'm going to go to that, probably this last video, and I'm gonna have all those names, and I'm not going to add to it. So like 3 or 4 days later, I'm not going to keep saying for 3 or 4 days after I hit 1600, you need to leave a blah blah blah, because it's not really fair for the people who'd already done it. And those will be the people that will get the opportunity to win. Jocelyn, welcome, Jocelyn. My friend Jocelyn's vlog of Taiwan. Welcome, and thank you for coming over, Jocelyn. Yeah, old school. Old school. Old school is best. One of the recent topics that we had, that we had talked about, was first aid. What do you do for first aid? Where do you go to get trained for first aid? What do you consider first aid? Everybody needs to take a first aid training course. You will benefit from that in that you will know what to do for your common emergencies. Somebody has a heart attack. It's not just calling 911. It's what do you do? Hillbilly Josh Lofton. Welcome, Hillbilly. What do you do until emergency services arrive? Well, truthfully, it'll take them 10 or 15 minutes likely to get there. And if a person had a heart attack and they stopped breathing, 10 minutes later their brain's dead. So unless they get some help from somebody Welcome Top G Network. Unless they get some help, somebody knows how to do CPR, and they get somebody starts CPR on them, 10 minutes later they're gone. And you take a first aid course, the first thing they teach you is basically CPR. And then they also teach you how to use an AED if there's an AED available. Now, private individuals, unless you've got a lot of money, are probably not going to have their own AED. But a lot of businesses, government facilities, schools, they'll have an AED. The paramedics will have an AED that they can use. And also, they will train you on how to do the Heimlich maneuver. And the idea there is somebody swallows something other, they've got the air pipe blocked, they're choking, can't breathe. They teach you how to get to pop out. How you do it to pop it out. I've twice in my life I've actually had to do in a real life situation CPR. Scared the hell out of me. I did not enjoy doing it by a long shot. But both times the person did survive. Got the sniffles again, I'm sorry. Summer cold. I hate summer colds. Damn. Might be allergies. I don't know. Apologies. And I've actually done the Heimlich maneuver one time in real life. In an emergency, you can actually do it on yourself. You go get a chair. Go find a chair like your dining room chair, and you basically flop down, upper belly, use force onto the chair, and that should give you an outward blast of air that hopefully will dislodge it. They'll also teach you about EpiPens, what's an EpiPen for, how to use an EpiPen. People who have allergies or people who have conditions like severe asthma, they carry an EpiPen. And like for a bee sting that could kill, certain people, they'll carry an EpiPen. The idea, if you arm the EpiPen and you have to stab it into their thigh and hold it in place for a 10 count. They'll also talk about, a person who's injured, as far as they possibly have a broken bone, what to do. The idea of possibly immobilizing it and putting it in a sling, if you know what you're doing and you've got the equipment, making a temporary splint. You have folding plastic splints that you can adjust, and then you use a wrap and you wrap it to immobilize the arm or the leg, the possibility you think it's broken. Having a pressure bandage, somebody gets a serious gash or something serious happens to them and they're bleeding, uh, applying bleed stop and then a pressure bandage to stop them from bleeding out, stop the bleeding. Belinda's Country Kitchen. Welcome, Belinda. Mr. Whistle, welcome, Mr. Whistle. You know, it is hurricane season, and you also have problems with tornadoes. So having an emergency kit if something happens. What goes in an emergency kit? Well, having a supply of water, clean water to drink, having a supply of canned food or food that you can eat, your medication, if you take medication, having a supply of your medication. Um, Sanitary hygiene products. If you need to use the restroom or a woman's cycle, wipies, trash bags, like a 5 gallon bucket with a plastic commode seat you can sit on it with 13-gallon trash bags. A good radio. You can pick up the Weather Channel. A good flashlight. Batteries for both. Good first aid kit. Those are the very, very basics. The very, very basics. Some people, you hear them talk beans and rice, rice and beans. If you ever listen to Dave Ramsey or one of his clones, they're always talking about, when you're trying to save money and live on the cheapest budget you can, you eat lots of rice and beans. I would include in that regard oatmeal. Oatmeal's a good breakfast. It's an anytime meal, but it's usually a breakfast meal. You have a couple of packs of instant oatmeal with hot water. Mix it up. Makes a good meal. And the idea of having freeze-dried foods, the type of stuff that you can you can basically reconstitute it with hot water. Yeah, learn to cook. You may need to cook on propane. You may need to cook in a fire, open fire. Don't have any power. That's also going to take water. You need to learn to garden. You need to be able to garden. You need to learn to garden. So if you are purchasing freeze-dried food for an emergency, and you're talking about a few day emergency, you can get 24-hour, you can get 48-hour boxes, 72-hour boxes. Thank you for the like, Jocelyn. I appreciate it. If you have not left a like, please leave a like to support my channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. And you can eat a lot of canned goods, canned foods. You can eat a lot of cans of, if you like chili, you get chili, mac and cheese, vegetables. You can get cans of stew. You can get combination stuff where you mix it together. Having rice, it's a starch, but having rice and then putting a meat sauce over it, or a chicken, you know, have chicken chunk, beef chunks, meat chunks. You can have combinations of like rice and beans, rice and chili. I have a lot of the Hormel Completes and the Dingy Moores. I have lots of retort pouches of various items. You can heat those in a pot of water. It's like the military MREs. You get these military rations. Spam, yes, Uncle Al, Spam is good. Spam is real good. And but the idea being is you want some variety. Hey, Betty. I am Betty J. Gathers. Welcome, Betty. Betty's got a good channel. She puts out some good stuff. She's got some good ideas. Good head on her shoulders. I would encourage you to visit that channel. Oh, I hate software. It's my weakness is technology. Hello, Mama, 4 boys. Rachel. Technology is my Achilles heel. I have 2 graduate degrees, but I got both of them prior to the internet. The internet came out in 1995, and I completed my second graduate degree in 1995. All my licenses and, you know, all my credentials and everything, all that stuff is pre-1995. The other thing is, you know, back then you could get credentials, and they'd be life credentials. Nowadays, you go to get credentials, and they're renewable. They're like 5 years, and you got to renew them. And they want that fee because you're basically paying to renew your license. Back in the day, you could have a license, and I'm not talking about driver's license, but you could have a license, and it was good for life. It's just a sad state of affairs. Living in the house, 14 likes. To me, it really is a sad state of affairs. So, you start looking at freeze-dried foods. What do you want for freeze-dried foods? Long-term storage that you can open up 10 years from now and it'll still be good. Well, freeze-dried powdered milk would be my number one. Good source of protein and different vitamins. You're going to be getting alternative plant-based. So if you're lactose intolerant, like a lot of the population's lactose intolerant, they can't drink milk or it gives them gas, you don't have to worry about with plant-based. You really don't have to worry about with plant-based. Yeah, I know. I know. My daughter's in the process of getting her license to do clinical psychology. She's got a master's degree in it now. She's got to pass her certification exam, and then she's got to complete her 3,000 training hours, and then she can start operating. And the going rate's over $100 an hour for that now. Once you got your license. But those are renewable. You got to renew your license. You got to have insurance. When she was working for the federal government, doing her case management, she had insurance. And I'm not talking about medical insurance, I'm talking about like practice insurance. So, to protect you in case somebody wants to sue you. It's like malpractice insurance, I guess they call it. Well, today I covered personal information. Thank you to Uncle Al for the topic. Richard DeRush. All right, Richard, I gave you standard moderator. Welcome. So, what is your plans for the rest of the night? I tend to go to bed early. It's where I am in Texas. It is about 8 o'clock. I normally get up. I get up about 5 o'clock in the morning usually. So I go to bed early. So that's my plans. I'll probably eat a little something other before I go to bed. And I'll probably look at a few of the comments and respond to comments. Well, thank you for coming in, Betty. Appreciate you. And I'll come by your channel. So, 8 in the house, 15 likes. We have a weather advisory for a tropical storm in the Gulf. It's hurricane season. So I should be getting a lot of rain over the next few days from that. Every day when I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day. You never know how many days you have when you get to be a little bit older. I say the Lord's Prayer. I think a lot. It's a good idea to try to read a chapter of Scripture every day. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, for another edition of Coffee Talk. Life is good, but it is what it is. Everybody have a blessed evening. Thank you for coming in. Bye.